Okay, it's going.
All right. Is this like something you just ask the question for the camera? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'll ask the first question, and then I don't usually sometimes I even forget the camera's there. So, yeah. So first of all, what's your name?
My name's Oliver.
Oliver. I'm Jeff.
Nice to meet you.
Meet you. So, so you heard the question, but for the camera, I'll ask it again. What do you think happens after this life?
After this life, well, I grew up Catholic, and I just recently was informed the difference between Christianity and Catholic. It's pretty similar.
They are very similar. Yeah.
One thing was just the one thing that shocked me was priests. In mine they call them priests, but I guess in Christianity it's more of pastors.
Yeah.
So it's different. I gotta turn this down. I didn't realize how hard talking was while walking. But it's not really.
Do you know what a pastor means?
No, not really.
It's like sheep have a shepherd.
Yeah.
And I think in the original language it meant shepherd. So someone who's kind of leading the flock.
So leading the church?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so a priest is more the idea of someone who's interceding between people and God, which I think a priest is also a pastor too, and a pastor is also I wouldn't. So the emphasis in what you're calling Christian is called Protestants or people. Do you know what that? Have you ever heard that word before?
I've heard of it, definitely.
Yeah.
I don't know
what. How did you start looking into this just recently?
I'm on a team in my school speech team.
Oh.
And a lot of them are Christian, religious.
Do you go to JJC or?
No, I go to Joliet West.
Oh,
it just happened to be.
Oh, okay.
And they just talk about it a lot, so I end up hearing about it.
Okay.
Sometimes it gets a little heated, so I'm I don't know too much. I'm gonna step back.
It shouldn't get heated if you don't know much, because unless
I'm not the one getting heated. I see it happen.
They're getting
heated. Your guess is as good as mine. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. So getting back to that question, what do you think happens at this point? Sounds like you're kind of learning a lot of new things, and
yeah, I think I'm at that stage in my life where I'm I know I'm young.
Yeah.
So I don't know everything.
Yeah.
So it's getting to the point where I have to start figuring out what I do believe. Yeah. That can change in time.
You can just clip that on there if you don't have to.
It's clipped, but it's it's floppy, so I don't want to ruin your quality.
Yeah.
And I grew up and I still believe that after death. Right now, I believe that there is an after, a heaven, hell situation.
Yeah.
There's obviously parts of me that questions well, how the hell works, how heaven works, stuff like that, and it's written down in the scriptures and what the priest says and how all that works.
Yeah.
But I think I'm at the point in my life where everything is really questioning everything,
and that's
so I think it's just natural for me to question why that works the way it does.
Yeah. Is there anyone who is religious that you think is afraid of your questions or doesn't want you to ask questions? Don't question it, just believe it, kind of thing.
Not in my personal life. My dad, he goes to church every Sunday. He's not hardcore, but he does his stuff.
Yeah.
And we used to go a lot more before COVID. And then, my life started ramping up, so I stopped going so much. I go I feel the average person, the holidays is when I go, which is
it's called a Cheester. It's Christmas and Easter.
Yeah.
Cheester.
But yeah, in my personal life, no, there is one new person that joined my speech team, because I've been on it for 2 years. And he's very I don't know if he calls himself a Christian. I'm assuming he does, because he goes with all the other.
Do they all go in? Are they all in the same group or same church or something? Or?
Some of them are, yeah.
Yeah.
And he doesn't go to theirs, but he interacts with their conversations about it.
Yeah.
And he definitely is a lot more hardcore. I think he was raised by his grandparents.
Uh-huh.
So I think my coach said that they have a more, no, not my coach, it was someone, but they have a more like, not like an old way in a bad way, but just like an older view on the religion itself.
Would the word fundamental be?
That might be the word.
A fundamentalist is kind of like, or maybe dogmatic, like they're really stuck in their beliefs and don't have,
I don't want to say anything negative about it, because like it's his life. Like, who am I to comment on it? But I'm just saying, like, I think he definitely has a foothold in knowing that there is something after life, and it's probably like heaven and hell. So if I were to say something about that, I think he would talk to me about it, but like not in like a mean way. And by the way, I'm probably the same way, like fundamental, dogmatic, like I do have set beliefs because I've looked into it for a long time, and I base my beliefs on the Bible. So it's like, it's not like up in the air for me to figure out according to my imagination or what I pick and choose of all the different religious ideas out there. It's like, I kind of have, like, the Bible would be my authority, you know? And so I'm not Catholic, I am Protestant, which the word Protestant comes from Martin Luther. You've heard of him? Like almost 600 years ago. Was he a philosopher? Did he consider?
He was a Catholic priest or a monk. And
that's what he was. I was out what title
and he was reading the Bible and hearing what it was preached in the church and knowing what the church was teaching, and a lot of it was church traditions that he realized that's not based on the Bible. And so he protested. That's where Protestant comes from. So like he put on the door of the church a list of his disagreements and said, this is not biblical. This is a church teaching that's not biblical. It's called on the Wittenberg door. And so his 95 theses, or, you're in speech class, so it's like these different claims of the church, and he would argue against the claims based on what the Bible said. And so so the basic difference between Protestant and Catholic is that Protestants would say, well, the Bible is our final authority, and Catholics might say, well, church tradition is our final authority based on the Bible, right? And so as a Protestant, I might appreciate a lot of the different traditions, but then there's some that I would say, no, I don't believe in that because it's not based on the Bible. And traditions kind of grow up, over the centuries, and people, it's kind of hard to let go of them. So, and so even the church, like the Lutheran Church, which started at, Martin Luther, I don't think he named it after himself, but they named it after him. It itself has developed a lot of traditions over the years. So now it has maybe some unbiblical beliefs, or whatever. So, but so I would say I do have some strong beliefs based on the Bible, but so if you're, and then people argue about how to interpret the Bible too. So there's that.
I've had one of my
I realize that
oldest friends I've had. I knew him since kindergarten, and there was like a point during this last summer where I would stay up for it was like a 3-day span. I would stay up till like 3 a.m. And we would argue about because he had he either just doesn't post about it now as much, or maybe he has changed his way of going about it. But he had really strong opinions that he related to religion, but I feel like a lot of it was not. I feel like there was something different.
Political stuff, or
it was political /
We live in very difficult political times, and it's dividing Christians too. So
So there were some things he would say well, I just did not agree with that at all. And I wasn't coming at a religious perspective. I was just coming at a human perspective. I don't know. That's my definition of a human perspective anyway, which could be taken with a grain of salt. But it was just stuff like that where there is a difference. And one thing I wanted to ask, when you're talking about how Catholic Like the Catholic way is more like the church principle.
Yeah.
One thing I know is that, or I think I know, is that the priest cannot be like married and stuff. It's like the 7 sacraments or something. It's been a while since I've been in a religious education class.
Yeah.
So is it like that for pastors?
No.
Is that like one of the big differences?
That would be I don't know if it would be a big difference, because priests voluntarily accept that as part of their vows. Mm-hmm. And I don't think anyone, in church leadership would say you can't be a Christian unless you make this vow. Mm-hmm. You can't be a priest in the Catholic Church unless you make that vow, but it's not saying that's what it means to be a Christian.
Yeah.
So pastors haven't, like, to be a pastor in a Christian church, you don't have to make that vow. And actually, the Catholic Church even allows some Lutheran pastors who want to become Catholic priests. If they're already married, it accepts them. Oh. I've heard. So
that'd be cool for them.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they can have their cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
So, but that's
just one thing I always wonder, is that you really just can't marry someone?
Right.
If you go
they would have to
they would have
to say I renounce my vow.
Yeah.
I'm going to not be a priest anymore. And nuns too, they make a vow to stay celibate and not married. So when I say that I'm kind of dogmatic or whatever, fundamental, I would be dogmatic about what's considered primary beliefs in the Christian church. For example, that Jesus is God in human flesh, God, he's not just a great teacher. He would be, God has taken human form and come to live among us. That would be a primary issue. A secondary issue, and that's where a lot of people, Christians, disagree, would be on something like, can you eat meat on Fridays? Or that would even be third, I don't even know. There's less important issues that don't determine whether you're a Christian or not.
Yeah.
And there's differences between churches. So some churches say, well, if you grow up in a church, you should get baptized as an infant. And others would say, well, wait until you're a believer and then take then become baptized.
I think I was baptized when I was, before I can remember it at least. So that shows how young.
Yeah. So that would be, and I have met some Christians who say it's a primary issue. You can't be saved without that. And I would say, there's a lot.
I've heard stuff of second baptisms.
Yeah.
But I don't know any. I've just heard about it.
Yeah.
As far as that goes.
I was baptized as an infant in the Lutheran church, and then I had to decide, okay, so I looked at all that the Bible taught about it. Mm. And I've always appreciated when I saw infants being baptized at my church. I always felt like, wow, the church is making a commitment to raise this child up in the teachings of the church. And it's they're being accepted by the church and by God even before they can decide to follow God, right? Mm-hmm. And I've always felt like my faith is something that God gave me. It's not something I chose for myself. What I mean? It's
well, you were baptized for a reason, His.
Yeah, and so that's always been important to me. But at the same time, the Bible does appear to say, believe and be baptized. It's a step of obedience that you do as a believer. So I got baptized as an adult too, you say, second baptism. Yeah. But then the Bible says, but there's only one faith and one baptism. And so it's okay, which of my two baptisms is the real one?
I mean, either way, you're following and stuff. So
either way, I didn't have a choice as an infant, and that's important to me. I don't renounce that.
Yeah.
So
I think it's good for that. Choice is big, because I don't hear about it now, but I'm into movies and stuff.
Yeah.
And I feel like movies are a window into how the past was, and a lot of that stuff is a lot of, not the whole focus of it is religion. It was much more less refuted than today's time. So I feel like it is a lot more like,
it's more important back then. Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
And like there's more references of it in those older films.
And I'm actually a retired history teacher. I taught in Chicago public schools, and you can't really honestly teach history without religion.
Yeah.
It was a huge motivator for a lot of events in history, and so the history books kind of play it down, but you know, got to be honest.
Yeah, that was a lot. I feel like a lot of motive, like that was a big motivator for a lot of things that happened in the past.
Yeah, good and bad.
Yeah.
And you got to be honest about the bad, you know. So you believe, Oliver, you believe in God, it sounds like.
I do. And me even stuttering makes it sound like I'm questioning it. But like I said before, like I'm just in this period of like, I just don't know.
Yeah.
But I feel
when
like
I say you believe
fine.
in God, I would say you believe in some kind of higher power that made you, right? Like a creator. It doesn't necessarily. Like,
I think it's a little too coincidental for everything to have happened the way it's happening.
For sure.
So I feel like there has to, maybe not has to be, but like there has to be a little something more than just a rock happened to hit another rock.
Yeah.
And
when you say the way things are happening, are you talking about like the way history is unfolding, or just the fact of existence?
Just the fact of existence.
Okay. Yeah.
Because like science says like this, like it was so astronomically low of a chance for all of this to have happened.
Yep.
And it's like, well, we can't measure the time that happened before we existed.
Right.
In terms of like the universe and everything.
Right.
I don't think we can anyway. Maybe we can.
There's nothing to compare it to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
That's called intelligent design. It's or it's also called the intelligent design, or the fine-tuning theory. Have you ever heard of that?
I don't think so.
So like there's so many like laws of physics that if, for example, the force of gravity was just like a hair different,
like little minute
the Earth as it exists, you know, like nothing would exist if it was more or less. And you take all the different laws, so it'd be kind of like walking into a room full of 100 dials, and if every one of those dials has to be on exactly the right degree, or nothing can, you know, life can't. It's called the fine-tuning argument, fine-tuning for life. So life couldn't exist without all of these different things. And you know, even another one is like just the fact that Jupiter is in our solar system. Its gravitational field has protected the Earth from asteroids. Yeah. For the most part, for, you know, forever. So
or however it's been there for.
Yeah. So it's like if that wasn't there, the Earth wouldn't exist as it is, or, you know, just different things. So, to me, that's one of the strongest arguments that there is if there's a creation, there's a creator, you know? So would you say you feel like you've always believed that God exists?
Probably not always.
Yeah.
I think that's like just a fair thing to say. Like some moments where it's like, oh wow, like no way, because this is happening.
Yeah.
You know?
I do remember.
And like even now, I feel like I say I do, but I question if I'm just scared of saying I don't.
Yeah.
Or if I just do.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of that. Like I keep saying, like I don't know.
Do you ever pray?
Not really.
Okay.
There'll be moments where I'm like, oh, thank God. But like I don't think that's really a prayer. Like
it can be
strong prayer. Yeah.
Right. Or help me, God. Yeah. I do remember like when I decided to start taking God seriously, it was like, okay, I'm going to pray. And being out in the dark and talking and trying to say, trying to talk to God, and thinking, am I just talking to the darkness? Am I crazy? So questioning that. So I do remember what that's like,
Yeah.
I don't think I doubted that God, maybe I doubted that God really cared enough to listen to me,
Yeah.
And then the question, if you believe in a creator of all of this, then the question is, well, do you believe that God has, a personality, is someone you can relate to, that you could have a relationship with your creator? And that's really what the Bible is about from day one. It's like that relationship was broken because Adam and Eve didn't respect God as the God of the garden, the Garden of Eden, and decided to go their own way. And so that relationship's been broken, and so the Bible is all about restoring that relationship between us and our Creator. So it does admit that it's been broken, that maybe there's times we don't believe because we've, like Adam and Eve, the first thing they did when they ate from the fruit in the garden is they went and hid away from God. They're running away from God, and that's what we do,
Yeah. I do have to go soon because I forgot I had a ride coming completely. But just back to the main question of if I believe if there's something after, and I'll just say I think a lot of people like my age and range, one of my biggest struggles in my life is when it's quiet and nothing's going on. And I start thinking about my life is not a movie. It's not a show.
It's not a movie. Yeah.
It's not going to go on forever. I'm actively getting nearer to the end of my life.
That's a big, heavy thing to say for someone. Well, how old are you?
17.
17. Okay.
I feel like I've thought about
You know what?
it,
I think
my
I
whole
can't.
life.
I think I can't post this on YouTube because you're not 18. So
maybe, but they won't know. We're not doing anything bad.
Yeah.
That's when you go in the cap cut. And you cut it, and then it can never happen.
Yeah.
But it's just like that. Or I think I do a lot of hypothetical thinking, how I said, what if I'm just scared to say that I don't believe in God, but what if I choose to think like that because I'm just so afraid that there is nothing after.
Yeah.
And what if I don't even know what nothing is, and that's scary at not knowing.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a main thing people they use to not like religion, is that it's a lot of, I'm saying faith is involved. I feel like faith is the whole thing of when people say, oh, you guys don't know though, but it's oh, I have faith.
Yeah.
And now that's not a bad thing. That's what I hear. But I think that's the main reason why people that don't believe in a higher power refute it, is because they just how do you know? You don't know. You weren't there.
Well, yeah. They want to have
a concrete answer.
Yeah, scientific proof or whatever. And the Bible says it's a matter of faith. Now, I believe it's an informed faith or a reasonable faith. I've had atheists tell me, well, I believe in a flying spaghetti monster, And it's okay, well, but there's no reason for that belief, It's just something you made up. So
versus the Bible being made, and
versus the Bible being a historical book and having historical events, and Jesus being a historical person. So yeah, so based on the historical evidence and different prophecies that have unfolded throughout the years to show that there's something behind it all, that God's in control of it all.
Yeah.
So yeah. So, but the Bible does say that faith pleases God. You can't please God if you don't have faith. And so what that tells me is we will never, if God could be proven, for example, if I said, okay, if God exists, he'll make this pencil float, right? Well, then I'm controlling God.
Yeah.
It's like I'm treating God like electricity, like there's laws he must follow. And if God is an independent being, he's not beholden to any of my rules.
Yeah.
He's God, I'm not, right?
Yeah.
Or God would be like a genie in a bottle where he has to come out if I rub the bottle, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, no, that's not. And so Jesus said to pray to your heavenly Father, you know, treat God like a father, and he's there to teach us and teach us to, you know, think for ourselves, teach us to, you know, to trust him, but also not to use him, you know, like a genie or something. So, yeah, so I've been, all my life, been learning different lessons, and a lot of them, unfortunately, I have to keep learning over and over again.
Yeah.
So, well, I don't want to overstay my welcome. You got to get going.
No problem. I just got here, so. However, how do you usually end these?
Well, I would have lots more questions, but I just don't know. I don't want to.
Yeah, I do have to go.
Yeah. So
Sorry
I'll give you
that.
my card, and I guess I'll post it, and I'll just take it down if there's any problem. If that you're not 18, I guess. So
What church is this for?
I go to Mission Bible Church in Manuka.
I don't think I've seen it.
And and just a lot of Christians are afraid to have a conversation like this out in public, you know, or go up to a complete stranger and strike up that kind of a conversation. And I've learned that if I just directly ask the question, what do you think happens? A lot of people are very willing to talk about it. So, and I appreciate your openness.
Yeah, it's just, I feel like I have nothing to hide. Like, I don't.
No, especially if you're searching and you're open to learning more, you know.
I'm open to both sides. Like, I'm learning how to deal with both possible endings. Like, if there is or if there isn't.
Yeah. Well, I'll give you my card, and I welcome any. I suppose I'm supposed to turn that off, right?
Yeah.